Hello, friends. So, I'm just thinking this morning about the power of observation and attention and awareness, however you want to phrase it. When we put a little bit of distance between us and whatever it is that's happening, whether it's happening perceived to be happening outside of us or perceived to be happening inside of us via thought processes, when we bring that little bit of space that allows us to say, this occurrence or this experience is not me. There is a greater version of me, a big S self, if you will, like Carl Jung calls it. That ability to identify more with the big S self, or the allness that is outside of the experience, creates the distance for us to feel separate from the experience rather than identify with it. And so that allows us, on a very nervous system physiological level, to shift our brain from the defense state where judgment can only live in the defense state. If you're in judgment in any kind of thought, I'm a slow walker or something, then I am judging the slowness as a problem, and then I'm defending against it, right? By criticizing myself. So that keeps me in my lower brain, where I have the skills and tools of a reptile. And when I observe, I'm having the thought that I'm walking slowly, or I'm having the thought that this pace is slow. Then I don't know why I brought that up, because I don't have any problem with my pace, but whatever, it popped into my head. So when I have the thought, this pace is slow, rather than I am slow, that allows me to shift into my frontal lobe, into my executive functioning, where I can then say, oh, this thing that's apart from me has this quality. It's less judgmental because it's just an observation, right? Like if I say the pace is slow, then it's neutral. It's morally neutral. It doesn't have a positive or negative. If I say I'm walking too slow, then that means I need to be walking faster, right? So this quality of observation, attention, awareness is so powerful, because not only does it give us that spiritual sense of I am something greater than this body, this experience, this set of thoughts, which is empowering in and of itself, but on a very non-spiritual, just physical level, it actually shifts us. I wanted you all to see how overnight all of the trees have leaves. It's just wild, isn't it? So on the very non-spiritual level, it just gets us back into our frontal lobe, where we don't have to be on the defense, and we have a lot more tools and skills, and we can then, make decisions about, okay, if this pace is slow, why is it valuable to consider a different pace? Am I okay with this pace? Do I have a time crunch? Do I enjoy this pace? Do I want to shift it, right? It just gives us all these options. Whereas if we're in the I'm walking too slowly, I'm going to just be feeling bad and not making a whole lot of creative solutions to it. So either way you go, increasing your attention, awareness, observation to into an experience is really positive. So what are some ways that you can increase your attention? So my favorite is just to ask questions. I feel like this is the easiest and most straightforward, the least hard to grasp. So if I'm in a really judgmental space, I can just say, if I say, for the example, I'm walking too slowly, I can say, am I walking too slowly? Just turn it into a question, right? If you want to get fancy and go into more self-inquiry, you can bring in, the Byron Katie stuff. Is it true? How does it make me feel? who would I be without this thought, and then try some turnarounds, like I'm walking too fast, to see if there's anything true about that. I'm not walking too slowly, right? Just to play around with it. Another version is to just ask, who am I? Where am I? What am I doing? I got this from Quasi Johir, and also just the version from Tifti the Priestess is I see my reality and I see myself in it. So again, it's just another version of creating yourself as the observer. Because if you can see yourself, then you are not yourself. If you can see your reality, then you are not your reality, right? So any of these questions that just create this little bit of space. You can also say, like, how is my body feeling? Is another way to create some separation, because I may be having the thought I'm walking too slowly, but if I ask how's my body feeling, then I can say, oh, my body's feeling like actually it wants to walk a little slower, or oh yeah, my body would like to walk a little faster, right? So that gives you options. And then there was one more. Oh, and then the version from like DBT and more of a nervous system perspective or polyvagal perspective is to connect in with your senses. So the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 is a great one for that. You connect in with 5 things that you can see. You can go through the rainbow if you want. Like I see something red, I see something orange, I see something yellow, I see something green, blue. And then 4 things that you can touch. So you might pick up 4 different objects, really notice and feel their textures, their temperature, their component parts, how they go together. 3 things that you can hear, 2 things that you can smell, 1 thing that you can taste. You can take, 30 seconds to do that activity, connect in with your senses. If you're feeling like that one's too complicated, you can just say, I'm just going to notice the sounds for 30 seconds. That can really bring you into the present moment. You can also do body scans and notice how your body is feeling. You can do mindful eating. There's like the raisin or the chocolate chip exercise. You just put 1 raisin in your mouth and let it be there until it melts and dissolves away, and really notice the textures and the taste and the flavor and how it changes. You can do that with an M&M or really anything. You can do, you can take an item like an object and just really describe how it looks and how it feels and what the components are and all that good stuff. So connecting in with your senses is a super powerful way to bring in that observation or attention and awareness, as well as any of those other questions. So anyways, sending lots of love. Hope you all have a beautiful day.